Hey everybody, how's it going? So today I'd like to discuss this news that Apple is being sued by somebody in San Francisco for about $1,383, which is what his iPhone 12 cost. I'm probably not going to be as anti-Apple as you're expecting for this article, but that's because I simply don't have all the information. So it says over here that an iPhone user in San Francisco is suing Apple for the exact cost of his iPhone, saying the company refused to repair the device despite it being under warranty. He filed a lawsuit in San Francisco seeking the amount of money that was his original cost of his phone. It levels the playing field so that just a simple consumer like me can sue a big company without having to worry about getting lawyers and all that other stuff. I feel like I at least want my day in court. So they set a trial date for it or a court date, and he's suing because he bought this phone in October 2020, and it's covered under their warranty until 2022. When he got home, he was having trouble getting the phone to read a SIM card. So he called Apple, and they told him to bring it to an Apple store. So I brought it into the store, and they sent it to the repair depot. They always send everything to a repair depot because, God forbid, people called geniuses can actually fix anything in the store. But I digress. And then they came back and they said, yeah, we're not going to fix this because it's been tampered with, Kim said. And he said, tampered with in what way? He didn't get an answer. Instead, they returned the phone. But now it had a broken SIM tray, Kim said. A few weeks later, Kim filed a complaint with the Better Business Bureau. Apple responded to the complaint, saying the iPhone would have been repaired if it were broken while the company had it. Apple considers this matter closed, the company said, according to the BBB website. Since Apple wouldn't fix the phone under warranty, which Kim said was voided by the company, he offered to pay for the repair. But the company again refused, he said. As a final gambit, he sent an email to Tim Cook. In June, he didn't hear back, so he turned to Google for ways to solve the problem. He found a blog post of somebody suing Apple in small claims court, and then he figured I might as well, he's going to try the same shit. So let's go over this a little bit. Firstly, you guys know that if Apple does something that I find to be kind of crappy, that I'll talk about it here, right? I really don't have a problem saying when I think they've done something wrong, when there's clear-cut evidence and proof. I want to believe this story. And I want to believe that this man has the right to win. The problem is, I cannot tell you how many times somebody has brought something here for repair under warranty, and I open it, and it's filled with wine. Fresh wine that you could still smell that wasn't there when we gave it back to them 6 months ago. Or when someone says that, they did nothing to it, they treated it perfectly, and it has a new dent on the corner that wasn't there when they brought it in, and the screen is cracked, and the glass is cracked, and they say that just happened on its own. This has happened enough times over the years that as much as I dislike some of Apple's practices towards the consumer, that on an anecdotal basis, there's no way for me to fully get behind what's going on here. Maybe he did have a phone where the SIM card simply wasn't working. He sent it in. They weren't able to fix it because he had screwed with it. And they said, listen, man, you screwed up your own phone. We're not messing with it. And maybe he did get screwed over. Maybe he didn't do anything wrong to that SIM card slot. Or, I don't know, maybe he tried to put his dick in it or something like so many of the customers that I've had have done with their effing devices, where they just destroy them over and over and over and over again, and never, even for 1 second, admit that maybe they did something wrong, that maybe I shouldn't spill wine on my computer 6 months after you fix it and expect that you fix it for free again by accusing you of putting the fucking wine inside the computer when it's still clearly dripping wet. Maybe I shouldn't accuse you of breaking my screen myself when there's a clear dent in the corner. I've had so many experiences where people walk in and with absolutely no chill whatsoever, think that there's just nothing wrong with bold-faced lying to me. And it still happens to this very day. I could probably be a 5-star business on Yelp instead of a 4.5-star business on Yelp if I just took it in the ass like I was supposed to and said, yes, sir, thank you, sir, I'm sorry, sir, we'll refund you, sir, let me fix it again for you, sir. But I don't have it in me to do that, which is why we're close at a 4.5. I know that's what you're supposed to do. I know it's the hospitality business. I just don't have it in me to do that. I just don't have it in me to get fucked and just kind of take it. And I know that happens enough that I cannot, without having knowledge of the case, condemn Apple in this case. Again, maybe this guy is right. Maybe this guy did nothing wrong. Maybe this guy did everything he was supposed to. He bought a new phone. He just put his SIM card in normally and it didn't read. He sent it to the service center. The service center tech decided to, stick an X-Acto inside there and destroy the SIM card slot. And after destroying the SIM card slot, sent it back to him and blamed him for it. That's very possible. And if that happened, shame on you, Apple, for doing this shit to this guy. But maybe he screwed it up himself. Now, even if he screwed up the phone himself, not providing him with a repair quote is kind of a shitty thing to do. I mean, you could offer a quote. Let's say it's a $1,200 phone. I mean, you could offer to like, replace the SIM card tray, replace the board and the phone. Even Apple, to not even provide a quote, to not even say like what they usually do, which is, oh, you have a $1,700 computer, it'll be $1,500 to fix it. Oh, you have a $1,200 phone, it'll be $800 to fix it. To not even do that is kind of shitty. Now, I get what they're saying, which is if they believe somebody else worked on it before, that they don't want to work on it again. But I don't think that the response that they gave is a particularly good one. They said that he didn't get an answer. So they said, yeah, we're not going to fix this because it's been tampered with. And when he said tamper with in what way, they should be able to answer him. So for instance, when somebody says, well, why aren't you fixing this under warranty? I can say, so remember how when I gave it back to you, it didn't smell like wine? You see how this motherboard is covered in purple stuff? That's wine. And that's yours because it's still wet. That's why I prefer to open the computers right in front of the customer. I like opening it in front of the customer because when it is still dripping, they cannot say that I left that in there 6 months ago because it would have eventually made its way out. And if it's fresh or something like that, like it's obvious you're lying. And I want to make it so obvious you're lying in a way that's non-judgmental, where it's not like I'm against you, I'm beating you, I'm berating you, I'm going to humiliate you. I just want to make it obvious that that there's no hiding here, the fact that you're lying, so that you stop doing it, so that we can move on to fixing your actual problem. I like opening machines in front of people because of that. It allows them to get some trust. But like to not even be able to say what was tampered with, that's kind of suspicious on Apple's part. They should be able to say, and we love doing this here when somebody messes with something. We'll say, well, you said you never touched it. There's a giant solder blob from over here to over here. What's up with that? Like, we'll take pictures. We're more than happy to show you how you fucked up your shit and why we think you're lying. And the fact that Apple was not willing to say that at all makes it a little bit suspicious. It makes it sound like maybe they broke something. But again, at the end of the day, it's just maybe it's just because I live in New York City. Maybe I've just been working in retail too long and it's made me jaded because for a long time, I actually did do the customer service up here at the store, even up to just like summer of last year, I was doing a lot of customer service at the store, dealing with people who walk in. There's a lot of people who make stuff up. There's a lot of people who make stuff up, so I can't universally condemn Apple for this. But I will say the fact that they were not willing to tell him how it's been tampered with makes it very suspicious. Because usually my experience with my employees here is when they catch that a customer is lying, they actually get excited. You can see a smile come across their face. Or in some employees' cases, they take it personally. They get offended. They're like, I can't believe this person would accuse me of this. And you can see how, it turns their face a little redder. They become a little aggravated. And they take a bunch of pictures of it. And they'll write detailed notes saying, here is this picture. Here's why this person must have done that thing and not us. And that's why, they were lying. Regardless of whether they're happy or they're sad that they caught somebody in it, they're always more than happy to provide the evidence. And it's not a company policy. It's not something that I even had to write down. It's just something that they naturally feel the need to do. They want to defend themselves. So if somebody says, well, what do you mean it was tampered with? If you sent me something that you broke and you wanted to say that I broke it, I would be more than happy to show you detailed pictures and detailed everything to explain to you how it is I know that you broke it. And the fact that Apple's not willing to do that, it's a bit shady. But it's not proof any which way. And at the end of the day, we're never going to know. I'm never going to have access to be able to look at this gentleman's phone to see how it worked and to see the condition that he sent it in, nor will any of us. So this is purely up to speculation. But I can't crap on Apple over speculation. I like to crap on Apple when they do something that is specifically wrong. When I can objectively say, you put 52 volts right next to 1.7 volts, why'd you do that? You specifically put a data line that goes directly to the CPU for Wi-Fi right next to 12 volts for LCD backlight, this far away from it. The liquid resistant stuff is right over here, but not over the data point. Why'd you do that? You put a piece of shoe rubber on a board to hold a chip to it and thought that was good enough for a recall program. Why'd you do that? I'm more than happy to crap on Apple when it's warranted, when I have the evidence, when I have the facts, when it is objectively provable that what I am saying is 110% correct. But I can't confirm that here. So I can't give you what I admittedly a lot of the people poking me about this story want, which is for me to just universally crap on Apple because of it. Very good chance that this guy screwed up his own phone. Very good chance that he didn't, but a good chance he didn't. I have no idea. That's it for today, and as always, I hope you learned something. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye now.